I'm Sean Malloy and welcome to Anything Football. Very excited for today because I'll be talking all about England, their strengths heading into the tournament, their weaknesses, and who I think Gareth Southgate should start in the first game against Croatia. So before I get into the strengths, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I'll be doing videos throughout the Euros, and if you enjoy the video, please give it a like. To go into the strengths, then I think one of the clear ones would be in the attacking areas. I think there's a lot of quality there, a lot of depth. So many quality players in Sterling, Foden, Grealish, Kane. But I think the one thing I like the most is how clinical they all look, how effective they all look, compared to how we have been in other tournaments. So when you look at Grealish, he always looks like he's going to make something happen. Foden exactly the same. You've got Kane, who is one of the most clinical strikers in the world right now, and hopefully he can bring that into the tournament. And then you've got the pace of Sancho, Sterling, and Rashford that can come on or start at any point to bring us that threat against the team. That suits that best. Another strength I think we actually have, and now a lot of people disagree with this, but I think our midfield is actually really strong and something that could really help us in this tournament. You see a lot of people have a go at Southgate for starting Rice and Henderson at times, and I just disagree with this. I think there's a lot of people at the moment that are just obsessed with goals, assists, and stuff like that, rather than actually sitting back and just watching how players play and the roles they play in making a team effective. And now I think Rice and Henderson are players that not only support and protect the defence unbelievably well, but in terms of getting on the ball and quickly releasing it to our threatening players like Grealish, like Foden, like Kane, the quicker we get it to them, the more effective we can be. And that's something that Rice and Henderson do so well. Another player that really excites me actually is Jude Bellingham. I think the last two games, Romania and Austria, I was actually able to just sit down and properly watch him. Like, I've always seen a few highlights of him, but I was actually able to just sit down and watch him play, and he looks like a very, very exciting player. Every time he got the ball, he looked so comfortable on it. He was always driving us forward, and I have to say, if he starts, I really won't be disappointed. In terms of the biggest weakness we have, I think well, I'm going to say the defence. I actually rate our fullbacks. I think what they bring us going forward, whoever we have, Luke Shaw, Chilwell on the left, Walker, James, Trippier on the right, they'll bring us, they defensively, I think they're all quite strong, and attacking wise, they're very comfortable and can create so much from their flanks. So I wouldn't be too concerned about that. But for me, it's the central areas, especially with Maguire being injured. I would look at Stones, who would be our main centre half now, and I wouldn't actually see him as our, the one that you really want to rely on as well. So that worries me. And when you've got Mings and Cody in cover, or it would be Mings starting, I suppose, by the looks of it, that really worries me. And I think for me, when I've seen the last couple of games, was it Belgium last year? I think we were very pragmatic and was trying to be as defensive as possible. But I actually think we need to get on the front foot and just hope for the best and just get it to our front players as quickly as possible. And just be fearless when you come against the biggest teams. Don't sit back and wait for a counter-attack. I think let's bring the game to them. We've got enough talent going forward, and I think we need to just rely purely on our strengths and just hope the weaknesses don't affect us too much. But yeah, let's get into my starting 11 and see who I'll pick for the first game against Croatia. So in goal, I would for me, it would be Henderson, but there's no point in actually having a debate in this because I think it will all day long be Pickford. I don't think Southgate will go away from that. I think it's very well known that he trusts him, and I imagine it will be Pickford starting. At right back, I really don't mind. The player I would have chosen would have been Trent, but he's obviously now injured. I do think the closest player to Trent is Reece James. So for me, I'll be starting Reece James at right back. Yeah, so centre halves, I think I'll be going Stones, and I think it will be Ben White partnering him. Now I know he's only just come into the squad, um, but for me, when I've seen him this season, and when I've seen him against, was it Romania? He played a part. He looked so comfortable on the ball throughout, and he didn't seem too phased by anything. And obviously, against a bigger opposition, we may see more, but I do think I would prefer him to Mings personally. Like left back, I think they both had good seasons. I think one's had a better season than the other, and that is Luke Shaw. I think he's been consistently good throughout. He hasn't picked up too many injuries. I know Chilwell's picked up a couple, so that's probably why Shaw's been a little bit more consistent. But I think in terms of it, because of that, I would be going Shaw, and I think he'll bring us the most going down that left hand side. I think, as you can tell with how I've started as four at the back, I'll be going 4-3-3. So the two players I would have against Croatia is Rice and Henderson. I think you probably need that support. Maybe when you go up against Scotland and the Czech Republic, you can maybe put Bellingham in there, depending obviously how Henderson's feeling with his little injury. And it could be Bellingham starts anyway because of Henderson's little injury. I don't know how bad it actually is. But yeah, to confirm, it will be, for the first game, it would be Henderson and Rice, and I'd have Mount playing slightly ahead of them. And doing what he does for Chelsea. He's had an unbelievable season this season, and hopefully he can bring that to England and we can be just as effective. In terms of who I'd be putting at the front three, it'll be Kane up front. That's the easy one. And then obviously it gets tricky with the wingers, with the amount of quality we have in terms of wingers. But when I'm looking at Grealish's season and the last two games he played for England, in my opinion, it's a must he starts. He just looks like no one wants to get near him. Every time he gets the ball, he always looks like he's going to make something happen. And for that reason, he just has to start. And again, on the right-hand side, Foden, for me, he's had an absolutely unbelievable season. He's another player that just looks so dangerous. He looks like he can make anything happen at any time. Dare I say, he's like the closest thing to me. A Messi type player, and hopefully Guardiola shapes him into one. But yeah, for me, he has to start on that right hand side, and as I said, Kane up front, and that is my starting 11. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Please let me know your thoughts, and yeah, thanks for watching.